Oh, whoa.
There we go. Okay. Do you want to recap a little bit about what we're recording here?
Whoa. Okay. Okay, this is the conversation that just might start a new fork in the road.
Yeah, it already did.
Hmm.
Well, should I tell him or do you want to?
Yeah, no, let's you start and then I'll play off of you.
Well, as many of our conversations start, it's one of us calls the other, and we get into talking about what we're going to do with our lives. Well, in this particular fork in the road, we've talked about why we've had instances uh, in our lives where we've enjoyed. How should I say it? We've it's kind of hard when you know you're being recorded.
Yeah, it definitely
You know
makes it
why?
harder.
Because it feels like we're trying to output a performance.
Yep,
That's what I don't know about you, but right when I start talking, I think, well, how is this going to sound to the listener? So we have it in a good
yep,
way, and it's
yep.
taking all the fun out of it. It's all. I already feel like it's taking the fun out of it. Instead of the last
Mm.
sentence that I just said was actually quite fun, which is just thinking and just being.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no, you gotta get out of the how is this gonna look in the end product
yeah,
mindset.
yeah. So okay, what we have been talking about is uh, why is it that, say, in my case, that when I was a kid, I enjoyed making YouTube videos, and as an adult, I I think that I should make it, and it'd be great to make it, but I can't even get around to doing it. The
Mm-hmm.
What we just stumbled across was that it's likely that once the YouTube videos became a means to an end, it takes the joy out of it. It robs it of its vitality. And Jordan was sharing before we had just discovered that, was sharing about how making YouTube videos about the process of finding land or figuring out what he wants to do in his life, or the process of should you even start a YouTube channel or make content, that itself could be recorded and people would appreciate watching it.
Mm. Yep.
So we then stumbled across the the process of finding what you want to do with your life, or the process of brainstorming, discovering what you need to do, having motivation or inspiration, does not come from thinking. It comes from doing. And
Yes, it does.
Jordan had just said, "Well, oh, that's a great idea. How could I put that into a YouTube video?" And of course, you're not going to think about it by thinking. You think about it by
Mm.
doing. So this is us doing
Yep.
right now.
Yes,
And
it is.
as silly as it sounds, this is it.
This is it.
So
Hmm.
Jordan, without thinking that you're being recorded right now, and there's no output, let's say we're just going to trash this.
Yep.
We're just gonna
Go ahead.
this was only literally.
Wait.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh. Um, Not even like as a matter of speech, but literally when we're done with this phone call, we'll just trash the recordings.
Yep.
But but we are recording as the process of doing, which will then inspire what.
Yes.
So you're not going to share this with anybody. This is all done. We're just going to throw it away. But now that we're actually doing, what feels like that next thing that you could do? That's as simple as this. Like we actually hit record. Do you know how many people? I have this conversation regularly with people. Oh, to be a content creator. I go, great, let's hit record right now. I go, no, 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 dude, you got to plan it out. I go, no, no, you don't. Well, plan out the next video, but like, let's record a video right now.
Yeah.
And like, no, 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 we can't. I go, well, let's just record a video saying we can't record a video, but we have to do something. I'm like, no, 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 oh, we have to we have to create an account first. I was like, we'll create an account after that. Hey, we'll record a video of us recording an account, creating an account. I regularly have this conversation, and
Yep.
um, and you and I actually hit record, which felt like it was nothing.
True.
Once you do it, you're like, oh, with that, we didn't even do anything.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Next.
yeah, what
Next.
sounds like that next thing?
Well, the next easiest step, I guess, uh, if uh, if if we're uh, if we're playing off of this idea, I think the next easiest step is, uh, well, the easiest step is I just need a establishing shot of me sitting on this. I'm sitting on a piece of scaffolding in the sun, having this conversation, and I think an establishing shot going, setting that scene, uh, would complement this audio very well.
Great. Here, I'll record a. I wonder if I could record a video of me talking to you. Maybe I'll do that post. I'll do that like B-roll.
There we go. Yeah.
I will. I'm not even kidding. I will. And then I'll just
Okay.
send, and then I'll text it to you.
Perfect. Oh boy, Jack.
Cool, man. Well, when you think of this though, like what emotions come to rise? Or excuse me, not
I think
think, but as we do this, what emotions start to come to rise? Like, do you feel I don't know. Do you feel like, oh shoot, man, this is gonna be this big journey that we're gonna have to overcome? I'm scared. I'm nervous, or excited. Like what?
I think there's a level of excitement in this idea of um actually creating something that shows uh the possibility of creating something that shows more of what I am, not just showing people how to build, how to frame a house, or how to put up gutters, or not showing people how much I explore the backcountry skiing, but actually showing like there's these thoughtful conversations happening, and there's these hot summer days happening where like no, just I think the opportunity of being able to show something more relatable is very interesting.
Mm. So it's kind of
Um,
like, oh, sorry to cut you off. Please
oh
keep
no, no,
going.
you're good.
It's kind of like if right now you're a baker. Is that at least how I'm interpreting it? Right now
Okay.
you're a baker, and every so often, let's say every day, but on your case, it's more like every week or so,
Hmm.
you put on display your bakings. So
Yep.
you create shit is gonna show my knowledge of what bakers make, but you make your donuts, you have your cupcakes, you have your bagels, you have
Yeah.
your baguettes.
Yep.
And so far what you've been giving to the world, selling to the world, is your baked goods.
Yes.
But now what we're talking about is you sharing with the world what it's like to be a baker.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, not just selling the baked goods, but saying this is who I am as a baker. Come with me at 3 a.m. when I go into
Yes.
the bakery and I start, my hair all messed up. I'm wearing the old t-shirt and like
Yep.
I'm not going to show you the the refined version of my output, which is my baguettes and bagels, but
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the raw version of who I am so you can see that at this like this deep um this deep authentic level.
Yes. Man, but then I'm also it's difficult to think through how to piece all of that together
Because you're thinking.
as I'm thinking. That's true. That is true. That
Well,
is great.
this is episode 1 right here.
This is episode.
Yeah, we don't have anything figured out about what episode 2 looks like.
Nope.
But that is the baker.
Man, and then this is hilarious. This will make you laugh. Something so it's gonna sound so insignificant at once I say it aloud. But something that keeps getting caught up in my mind is yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, go for it. I'm sure it's ridiculous. Let's hear ridiculous.
Is this idea of uh do I is this content that I can share on my same channel as my skiing videos, or do I have to make a new channel?
Do both. Yeah, and make it trashy. Make it quick. Make it right now. Today, May what is today? The 17th?
17. Yep.
Saturday, May 17th. I'm in Alaska talking to, it doesn't matter who I am for your audience. I'm a nobody. That'll age well. That'll age like wine one day. I'm a nobody. Nobody knows who I am. It's Saturday, May 17th. It's for me, this other voice who's not Jordan's, at almost 1 p.m. in the afternoon, Alaska time, talking to Jordan in Mountain Time.
Yep. It's about 3 p.m.
Yeah, man, this could just be like stay tuned for more. You can just slap that out at the end, and this could just be like a black screen, just audio. Or it's like a slideshow of nature, just like a super trashy video, but it gets done today. I really want to know tomorrow when we speak how you felt about like just doing it. This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever put on YouTube. And then it's only up from there. Like, just start out with the worst, trashiest thing you can.
Oh boy. Well, no harm in trying.
Nice. Now, yeah, what's the next thing that you're not thinking of? What's the emotion that's coming to mind or coming to heart?
I would say the I think the most exciting way for me to do this would be I think it looks like a monthly upload,
Yeah.
so that I have time to actually really work on it. And so it's interesting to think. Well, I'm not saying I'm thinking too much, but it's interesting to think of how can I make something relatable that recaps a month?
Um, I've got a question for you because
Okay.
now our goal right now is not to try think about production, which is then going to influence how we speak, which will make the production not as high quality, right? We're just trying to be
Yep.
authentic.
Yep.
And we're trying to authentically reach out to people to share with them the process of going from not knowing what you're doing or what you want or where you're going, but you don't even know how to start thinking about what to do. And so that's why we said, well, let's just do, and then we'll actually get some momentum, and then from that momentum we can share that with people. So we're inherently doing it right now. Like, we actually started out this conversation not knowing. It was super awkward, and neither
Yep.
of us know what we're doing or where we're going, which
Yep.
is exactly what we needed it to be, to share with
Yep.
people that we don't even know.
Yep.
So the next thing to share is what what are you fearful of? Where are you stuck right now? What do you want or don't want, or what's the when you think of, man, I don't know what next step to take.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't need to talk about a next step right now, because right, we don't know what next step to take. But at
Yep.
least let's articulate, what does this feel like to not know what that next step is?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does it feel like
Um,
being lost?
going all podcast style. What does it feel like to be lost?
Or stuck, or
Yeah,
nebulous? What is?
I would say it's really easy. It's and like I think me and you can talk all day about and you can be in this situation or I can be in this situation. I can be reaffirming you, you can be reaffirming me, but we can talk all day about uh all you have to do is think about this easy next step. You have to take that step and then you have to just go one step at a time from there. And you're not you can't be freaking out about the entire whole when you're just taking your first step. You can't be freaking out about the entire marathon when you're taking your first two steps.
Hmm.
Otherwise, those first two steps is like, man, I was a little, my form was bad on my second step. The whole marathon's gonna be terrible from here.
Hmm.
But now it's interesting now that I'm in this position to be like, uh, it is really easy to get lost in the weeds.
Hmm.
Which is it's impressive. Uh, I don't know. It's very impressive.
Impressive,
It's
like overwhelming, or
well, I'm impressed by I'm
maybe
impressed
that
by
was a good word.
how easy it is to when if we flipped positions right now, I'd be like, yeah, Jack, you just gotta take one step, stop thinking about the whole thing, just take the next step. But now I'm on this side, and it's like, no, that's not all you need to think about. You gotta think about this and this and this and this. That's what's impressive.
Hold on though. Hold on though. A few minutes ago, we didn't even know what to think about. But
Yeah.
now that we took a step, now we're starting to think.
Yep.
So we do have to give that
True.
some reverence that it deserves.
Yes. That's true. Yeah, I guess we're one. We took the hardest step. We have pretty good form on our first step. We're two steps in the marathon. Uh,
What
yeah.
I what I would be thinking about is, oh my goodness, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I have to get up in a few hours, and I've stumbled across this. I'm like deep in the YouTube hole, and I've
Mm-hmm.
stumbled across this slideshow of nature that is has an audio overlay of these two guys talking about how they don't know how to talk about what they're talking about. Where am I?
How did I get here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's how I would feel being lost. How did I get here? And I've consumed so much media the last 6 hours. Not me, but the person listening, watching this slideshow
Yeah.
audio, this piece of trash, that I'd be thinking, what if what have I actually accomplished in the last 6 hours of consuming this? Like I'm not actually anywhere further. I haven't.
Hmm.
I it almost feels being stuck is like, it's like it reminds us that the expression that knowledge is power is a lie. knowledge isn't power. We have all the knowledge that we need, and if we don't have it, we can quickly access it.
Mm-hmm.
But knowledge isn't. So if knowledge isn't power, then what is? And I don't know. I'll just say it again. I was going to jump in the pool. It was my first time jumping off the diving board. By the way, I'm in my 30s, and this was 2 weeks ago. That I was trying to do a front flip, so I was asking these kids how to do a front flip, and they're kind of laughing and chuckling, showing, "Yeah, you just do this." And I was just awkwardly uh, trying to replicate how they do a front flip, and one of the kids, he must have been like 7 years old. He goes, "Don't think, just do." That's been my
Hmm.
mantra the past. It has been for a few years in different capacities. But I really appreciated how he said, "Don't think, just do." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'll
Hmm.
just make myself look like I'm not thinking about it." Yeah. I'll just make this look. Oh yeah, okay. I'm just gonna go for it. Uh, which it didn't make the front flips any better. But there was a case last fall when I was in school in university, and I had so much work to accomplish. It was
Hmm.
more than I could have ever imagined, more than I'd ever done previously. I didn't
Yep.
know how to get any of it done, and so I told myself, really, it just felt like just giving up was the only option. But I knew that that wasn't going to be an option. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I have more research assignments to do than I even have time to do it. What am I going to do? I
Mm-hmm.
like what do you do? And so I said, at the very least, you need to stop thinking about what you're going to do right now, and you need to just do. And so you're like, well, what does that even mean? How do you do without even knowing what to do? And
Yeah.
so I just turned on speech to text on my computer, and I just started research projects that I didn't even start any research. Like this was the whole the thing that I would have had to do, but I didn't even know like where to start with it and or what the research
Mm-hmm.
would be about. And I would just key the mic and then just start speaking. And it was absolute garbage. I didn't even know, like my first words were, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be speaking about. I have a research project that has to do about this, but but I don't even know anything about this. Maybe I could maybe I could. And then right as I would start to talk about what I could do, I was like, oh, well, that's an idea. Maybe I'll do this, this, and this, and then this will
Hmm.
come after. I'll just kind of finish it off on this.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, okay, well, here, let me just put in some. I'll just talk about what I think I know here. Of course, I'll actually do the research later.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up just powering through so much stuff um by just doing, and then the thinking and refining came later. So
Yeah.
mm, so yeah, I empathize as because the tables are turned. We're talking about what Jordan's going to do for his YouTube channel right now, and I do empathize that you get uh you reach a point of, oh man, now there's so many tasks on my plate. What's the next step that I take?
Yeah.
And for me, 6 months into my entrepreneurial journey, I'm I recognize that the weeks of the lowest performance that I've had are the ones where
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about what to do next. Like,
Hmm.
man, this is a big task to overcome. How do I even like break this down into smaller pieces or whatever? And I make almost no progress compared to the weeks where I'd say I just key the microphone and I just
Hmm.
go straight to an LLM and just talk away. I'm in this spot. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to ask you. Where should I go? And then
Yep.
like an idea comes. I go, oh, I'll just follow this stuff right now, and I'll just do, and I'll just grind. And those are the ones that become the most performance weeks. Is the ones of of having not been led by any thought, but just by action.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. That's cool to be able to reflect back on that and identify and notice that.
Mm. Yeah, thank you. And
Hmm.
so that's kind of what we're doing right here with your uh whatever you want to call this with with your podcast content slideshow. It's
Whatever it turns into.
yeah, yeah, it's just I'm excited to see I'm excited to see not just you doing, but you
Mm-hmm.
also not just your output, but also you recording in this raw, messy way what
Mm-hmm.
the process looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oof.
Does it feel intimidating at all?
Oh yeah.
Uh, well, does it feel intimidating at all? Uh, thinking that it's kind of like what we were saying earlier. Uh, thinking that this may become something good, or it may be polished, or it may have an audience. And um now it now we just need to make the process to get to success. Oh, I guess I'm getting at, does it feel intimidating at all thinking that it will become successful? And would it be less intimidating if you knew that this would never become successful? Nobody is ever going to listen to this.
That's actually I was thinking through that. Think I think it does make it less intimidating. I think it's less intimidating if you know that nobody will ever hear this or see this. But
Yeah,
I I think there is less motivation though,
really.
to an extent. In some ways. So, like I was thinking through. Well, okay, in some ways. In ooh, that's an interesting. So there is more motivation to in that like, okay, I can actually just do something right now because nobody's ever gonna watch it, so it can be whatever I want it to be
Uh-huh.
or whatever it needs to be in order to get done. Uh, but that's interesting. I'm not sure. Hmm. Less. Yeah, I guess maybe that's interesting. It feels like a different kind of motivation, I guess.
Hmm. Like a permission to be raw.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah. Hmm.
Well, have you I don't know if you have entirely yet explained to our audience, explained in this conversation
Mm-hmm.
what it is that's maybe as one of us explained what it is that is different about this content compared to the other content. I think
Hmm.
maybe we did touch on it because we were talking about the baker and
Yeah. Yeah. I think a big part of it is in that this idea of showing through ski films, showing like this one part of me where I'm out doing hard things and exploring nature, and so I kind of show how hard it is in a dramatic way, but not really showing the actual nitty gritty of like what's actually going into it as
mm,
much. It's more of a it is more of a production. I aim to be more authentic through it, but it's still there's a level of production to it. And then I think the other kind of content that I'm producing is these instructional videos on how to teaching people how to do construction. Um, I think the idea of this would be to uh, to actually show like I don't know show show the process show the doubt maybe
Mm.
to show the to show I don't know and I think oh well okay show who I am in dealing with the journey of getting to the point where I can build my own house.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know if any individual piece of content will ever be able to show all of who you are, but I think the goal of this type of content would be to show who I am in working towards that.
Mm. Like who you're not. Is this about Jordan or about a way that people can relate to? When you say show who you are, as like I'm thinking of two different things, like leaving your legacy, showing who you are, who
Mm-hmm.
Jordan is for people to see, or show who you are as in when people see the finished result, then they have been able to follow you along the way, or they can see afterwards, oh man, this came from somebody who was just as stuck as I was.
Yeah, I think I think that is more of the intention of like showing that like like I'm sitting here after just a winter of just skiing for fun and just sitting here uh, working my days in the sun building a house for my parents and showing how you get from that how hopefully you can look back and see uh, wow I went from a point where I was having these similar doubts and these similar ideas. um, I don't know. hmm. I think there is also a level of excitement to in the idea of creating something at a and earlier I was mentioning this idea of doing something that is a more of a monthly idea. I think it's just the idea of being able to just personally in my life be able to create something every month that is like actually challenging to me and like exciting and engaging.
Hmm.
That just like that alone sounds really that's exciting. I don't even know if this is necessarily this idea that we're talking about is what that is, but that is exciting.
Mm.
Because like a lot of the videos, well, other than the ski films, which I've only made two of them. Other than those, everything else I've created has been like just put in enough work to get it done, basically.
Mm.
Don't don't necessarily, and I think I've grown into it a little bit, but there's not a very much, not a very high level of like we don't really need to go too crazy on any crazy ideas or I don't know. It just needs to be basic. We have a pretty good uh, there's not really a story to it, I guess, is part of it.
Mm. Mm. So you're considering this and whatever this monstrosity is that we're building, you're considering this to be something that could be a monthly challenge that's more challenging than what you have been doing. because I was under the impression we were talking about something that's less challenging and
I
just like
don't even know
fun,
about.
easy going.
I don't even know about challenging. I think engaging.
Oh,
Engaging for me.
oh, you keep throwing me through, throwing me through loops.
Mm. Yeah. Hmm.
Well, Jordan,
Interesting.
this is exactly what I think this should be. This conversation,
Mhm.
uh, whether it's in the past, if we're finishing it up right now, or we have a lot more to say. Um, this conversation is exactly what it should be for for an audience that gets to watch and see the messiness of starting something that we're talking
Yeah.
about. We're like really, if you think about it, and actually our like our first few minutes were kind of were you could tell the lack of a better word, the awkwardness as we know we're being recorded and we're kind of playing around with stuff. But now that
Yeah.
we've been able to take a breath and relax for a bit, we can really see that the dialogue we have here is we're just talking about what we don't know what to talk about, or we're talking about we're talking about, is this gonna what is this gonna turn into, or what are we trying to do with our lives, what do we do, and and there's something I guess the word for this would be meta about it, that what we're not just doing is talking, we're
Yeah.
making an audio
Yep.
that's going to go public about us talking. And so we're not just talking right now. We're actually doing our we were in a conversation that was talking, and we said, how do we turn this talking into doing? And so now us, by the measure of recording the talking has inherently turned the talking into doing.
Yes.
But what it does go to show is this is what the process of a doing looks like, because we are recording this. You are gonna put it on the internet, like we said, by midnight. At least that's what I said. I hope to see it by tomorrow with just a trashy slideshow.
Yep.
Uh, that this is the process of doing. It's like it's messy. It can be slow and disorganized, and it's full of just different emotions and conversations that kind of trail off into, or not even conversations, but processes that trail off into to different areas. But just
Yep.
the by order of just doing, we're able to to land on places that we otherwise wouldn't have if we were just talking. And again, this to somebody in the audience, this might seem like talking because that's what they hear. But for us, this is the process of doing, because we're just um, if this was like building a physical item, we wouldn't be making a podcast about it, or we
Yep.
wouldn't be recording our audio. But the thing that we're building here is recording audio. So we're like, well, what are we going to record audio about, or what are we going to record a video about?
Yes.
Oh, well, let's
Yep.
just record a video about us not knowing what to record a video about. There you go. That's like, if we're talking about authentic, this is as authentic as it gets.
True.
So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Absolutely, Jack. You for pushing. I started earlier in the conversation. I started off with the, well, when are you gonna have this when are you gonna have your video application submitted? Little did I know how much that would come back to me.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, this was a bit empowering for me as well, because I've been thinking about this video I want to send to Y Combinator
Yep.
to introduce myself, And really, just for the last day. So not like I've been sitting on it for months, but the last
Yeah.
day, I was like, oh, maybe I should do this and this. And then I thought, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pull the video camera out right now and do it. But I was in the bathtub, and I was like, that's gonna send the wrong message. But as I've been thinking about it for the past day, it's like, okay, I should probably introduce myself in this way and have nice
Yeah.
lighting this way. But I see
Yeah.
the more that I've been thinking about it, it's like thinking is making it go in the direction opposite of doing.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that before. Um, it's like the more
Interesting.
you think about it, the further away you get from doing. And
Yeah. Right.
society has told me that the process of doing starts out by thinking. It would be
Mm-hmm.
like we got to come up with some metaphor of like something with like something I don't know, with like a boat and water, or like drugs, or an addiction. There's got to be something with the thing that, yeah, as society has told me that if
I
you want to
think,
build something, you have to think, but thinking is actually the thing that takes you away from getting it done.
yeah, I think something that kind of relates potentially is the I think something people run into is with addictions is this idea of getting like fully engrossed in this idea of trying to quit your addiction, and that's like all you can think about every time you do whatever, every time you take the
Oh
drug or do
yeah.
whatever, you're thinking, man, I should not be doing this. And really, I think the people who are able to get off of the drug or quit the addiction and whatever it is, people who are able to start talking about that openly and admit this is something that I do, this is something I'm working on, and it's not like a full just like they're fighting themselves super hard. They kind of accept like uh like okay, I did this today. I didn't. I wish I maybe I wish I didn't. But I have to be easy on myself and just try better next time. Just like this level of they're more open about it and they're more accepting and they're more they don't I don't know it there feels like there's a level of more acceptance,
Yeah.
which kind of in a way relates. I don't know if that's exactly best metaphor.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Um, I'm thinking of one of like trying to tell somebody that you're not crazy. The more you tell them, actually gets you further away.
Yeah.
So again, well, I don't
Uh,
think I don't think either of us have nailed a really good metaphor yet, but we know
yeah.
what we're on the right track to it.
Yeah.
That thinking isn't the thing that gets, so watching all the YouTube videos about how to do something is not what gets you to do it. If
Yep.
anything, it gets you further away from doing it.
Yep.
Whoa. I hadn't really considered that before. Like, well,
Mm,
not that exact way of saying it.
that is interesting.
Mm.
Mm,
So, yeah, I'll put that into consideration throughout this week to like go back and look at the details from this application of what they want, and then just make a quick video right there. Then once I have a few like trashy videos put together, then I don't know, I'm not going to plan it all out right now, but to
yeah.
just actually do, like
Yeah.
write stuff on a notepad, actually make a quick video. At the very least, make something like by the end of this week, I'm just going to put a small video that says, hi, my name's Jack, this looks like a great process. I'm a little too busy for it right now, but I at least wanted to introduce myself, because it's all about taking action. There you go. That's the
Yeah.
video right there. And like by next Sunday, I will have that done.
Yeah. There you go.
And I'm excited to see the content that you make.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. This is a new this is a new thing.
Well, we're all wondering, everybody in your family wonders what Jordan's up to. Uh, is it? this is such an authentic way to show it. And
Sure.
man, there's people who, yeah, who really need who who really need the encouragement, and people who really enjoy living vicariously through other people's journeys. Like this is our new world as I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Well, I'm gonna get to it.
yeah. Let me see if I can ask you one more thing. You want to share
Okay.
with people the authenticity of of Jordan, like we said, being the baker.
Okay.
Uh, you want to share with people the process of building a house and making content. And what's one other thing that that you'd like to that you'd like to share with your with this new platform?
Hmm. I have the idea, but um, think think ooh, it's tough to put them into words. I think the idea, I think something a lot of people could get a lot of benefit out of is the idea of like, I really do think that you can take your life in whatever direction you want to take it, and I think there's a lot of a fear attached to this this idea of a lack of stability.
Mm,
And I think if I could show people the benefits of embracing that lack of stability, I think there's a lot of interesting benefits that could come from that.
hmm.
Or just, man, that's not exactly the whole concept though. Just this, I don't know. Like I think if you can just break everything down into this root of uh, you want to be happy, just learning how to realize, because I think a lot of people, they go through life and have this idea of I'm gonna work this job until I'm 65 so that I can retire, so that I can be happy then. Uh, I think people are starting to kind of realize the some of the
Hmm.
ridiculousness of that. Um, there's I think there's levels to it, and just being able to see that instead of trying to be motivated by what is what is this goal that I'm trying to do, and then how do I get there, more of and then being motivated by the how do I get there. Like I was talking about with my house. I had this realization that like I always kind of wanted to build my own house, but I thought I was really far out, and I was kind of like, okay, I need to start my own business first, and then I need to figure out how to make money so that I can even start thinking about how to get to the point of building a house. But then I kind of broke it down, and it's like, well, the business isn't the goal, and the the I don't know, the money isn't the goal. The house is the goal. So why don't I just focus on the house and just see and just like do whatever path is best to get there, instead of I don't know, it's a very subtle difference, but instead of focusing on the path to get there, focusing on what the actual goal is.
Hmm.
But then, I mean, there's also the enjoying the journey part, but I think that's slightly different.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's a long-winded answer there, but
No, 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 that's a good one. I'm trying to think of a of another example of that where like you try and build out this path to solve this problem or to get to this destination. You're like, well, wait, why don't you just get to the destination?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, um, I mean, I really, for some reason, I can't think of anything, but instead of going through this process to tell somebody that you love them, why don't you just tell them that you love them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was a terrible example. So I'm sure there's some really good examples out there. I just can't think of some right now.
I can't either. That's a tough one to think of an analogy for.
Oh, oh, kind of like oh no, there we go.
Nope.
There's a really
There
good
we go.
one that's told many different ways, but there's this guy who goes out fishing every day. He's like out out in this tropical small village. And every day he goes fishing and then he comes back, he gets some fish for his family, and then he spends the rest of the day with his family and really enjoys it. And this have you heard this one?
Mm, yes.
And then this corporate guy comes along and he goes, "Oh, you could why not get a bigger boat and then you could catch more fish." He goes, "Well, why would I want that?" He goes, "Well, with more fish, you can get some employees and you can catch even more fish." He goes, "Why would I want that?" Well, then once you have employees, then you could focus more on management, get another ship with more employees, and it goes bigger and bigger. And he goes, "Why would I want that?" He goes, "Well, then you could be a public company, and then you could have ships around the world who all employ all these people, have fish all over."
Yeah.
And then he's
Yep.
like, "Well, why would I want that?" He goes, "Well, then you can have all the money that you need, and you can retire and find just find a nice quaint place out in a small tropical village where you can just like go out every day and just go just go catch a fish for your family."
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one. Oh, why don't you just go right there?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Jordan, again, I already said, but this was excellent. This was excellent, just in the virtue of how I don't think we provided a whole bunch of value to people's lives from this. I don't think there's anything brand new. And the format of it,
No.
audio with some with a slideshow of some landscape photos. It really What makes this excellent is not the quality of the content, but the kind of like the baker. But what makes this excellent is that we did it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like if your goal for the day was to go out and you know, if you wanted to become an artist and you said like every day you'll touch the pen to the paper. Well, if
Yep.
you're into it up to this one level, and one day you just wake up and you just touch the pen to the paper, that is an excellent thing that you did, even though the dot of pen on paper doesn't look good. The
Yeah.
process that you actually did it is the thing that is excellent. So I look forward to seeing this trashy video, Jordan.
Yes. Well, I did
Please,
not expect I did not expect that this call. So I appreciate the out of the blue call.
Sam, please make the video really bad.
Okay.
But please, it has to get done. We cannot be
Okay.
talkers. Well,
Okay.
you know what I mean. Even talking is our
Yep.
doing. But
Yes.
if talking wasn't our doing, then we can't just be talkers. We got to take action. And
Yes.
then I'm I just got off night shift, going on a day shift, so I'm delusional today. I can't think about anything. Like I would struggle to accomplish any work, but I promise I will do one thing that pushes my business forward today.
Okay.
Since you're taking a step, I'll take a step as well.
Perfect. And I'll check back in on you about your application video.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Good chatting with you, Jordan. Thank you.
Yes. You as well, Jack.
All right, I'll send you this audio clip.
Sounds good.
See ya.
Adios.